What's going on, guys? Maelstrom here with our Fabled Day 1 deck lists. Set rotation is on the horizon, and all of us are excited to see how this impacts the meta. The game as we know it is shifting, and we are here to help you weather the storm.
Hello everyone, Sailor here for another week 1 deck list with Team Maelstrom. Tiana aggro, which is an Ember Steel deck, very much on the aggressive side of the spectrum, but it plays the best removal in the game and maybe the best card in the game that we have right now for core constructed in the form of strength of a Raging Fire. Being able to be sang off of Lady, very good singer that you can play along with heavy 2-lore quester so that you can advance your win condition plus deploy that singer. It can also be sang by Pete, which is very good in the Steel Mirror match, which I'm pretty confident we'll see a lot of. Pete also makes it so that you can delay your opponent from singing the strength of a Raging Fire first. This new Lilo, best explorer ever, is also a very good singer for strength of a Raging Fire. She also does some creaky impression.
This cricket's a lucky one!
By giving your Hold Bowl Challenger +2, so you can open up with Captain Hook into Calhoun, into Lilo, and basically be able to take out almost anything at that point in a game. The Mr. Arrow notably is an alien for the second part of the Lilo, which is whenever this character quests, chose an alien character against Challenger +2, and notably also this character can challenge ready characters. And one of the things that you're really good with this deck is to neutralize a lot of the crackback, right, of the challenge that your opponent can do on your side by playing one of the most powerful card, in my opinion, in this new meta game, which is the Tiana Restaurant Owner, which makes all the challenge against your characters gets -3 strength, unless that player plays 3, which will basically, if they have a 4 power character, they can only pay 3 and not care about the ability. But that will makes it so that it's going to be harder to be on board and deploy more things to take out more of your characters if you try to go wide, because they will be spending those precious ink onto that ability. And if you're able to do the 2-card combo of Tiana into Pluto, and that is even more oppressive for your opponent, because now they need to get past a 5 willpower character with the Tiana ability. And if you are able to sink strength on that turn 4 in the same turn that you deploy the Pluto, then it's basically game over for almost any deck, right? That's too much to deal with. So in my opinion, Tiana aggro Ember Steel is the deck to beat. On the draw specifically, you'll need to try to do your best to beat it. And yeah, this is what I'm bringing to the table for the week 1 of Fable. Have fun in your first week of tournaments and have fun.
Hey, what's up, Maelstrom maestros and madams?
Wow, who's that guy?
Kurt Spice here with a day 1 Ruby Steel song deck, where we're gonna be seeing it eye to eye. Yeah, it's got a lot of the new Powerline cards, as well as a couple max goofs. Powerline has some really exciting options, with the big World's Greatest Rockstar being able to play songs for free off the top of the deck. We've got Beyond the Horizon and Eye to Eye as the real big hits, and a couple other fun hits with Pirate's Life and I'm Still Here and Strength of Raging Fire. Powerline Musical Superstar, I think, is gonna be a superstar in this new format, being a 4-3 rush and super easy to get another song in the mix as well. Especially with the 2-cost Powerline, even being a singer 4 means you can combo a One Last Hope or I'm Still Here with a Powerline, or a Stitch Alien Troublemaker, who also combos really well with the Lilo Best Explorer Ever. I agree with that moniker. I think she is the best explorer ever. We also have some other fun shift lines with Mulan, the Disguised Soldier being just a great way to get an early challenger, filter some draws, and that Elite Archer is a nasty shift and works really well with One Last Hope, which is one of my favorite cards in this deck. As you can see, it's a ton of heroes, and giving them resist either with One Last Hope or I'm Still Here makes the challenging super easy. And yeah, I think if you're looking for a fun song deck, Ruby Steel has a ton of good options, and I just went with a lot of my favorites here. So stay brewing out there, Stormies.
Hey guys, Xenulous here, bringing you my Day 1 Emerald Amethyst list for Fabled. As you are probably aware, with set rotation we have to find new staples to play with, and the first two cards I want to highlight are Dumbo, Ninth Wonder of the Universe, and Genie of the Lamp. With friends on the other side and Merlin Rabbit no longer with us, we need new ways to fill our hand, and Dumbo does just that.
Dumbo, the ninth wonder of the universe, the world's only flying elephant.
As you can see, we have filled our deck with lower cost evasive characters so we can take full advantage of his effect. You normally want to try and establish him on turns 5 through 6 so you can immediately start drawing cards. Genie is a new way we can actively challenge the board with Merlin Crab out of the picture. Genie is just the thing to buff up all of our characters to trade effectively, and I have found myself trying to establish Genie of the Lamp on turn 4 instead of Genie Wish Fulfilled so that I can combo with Elsa the Fifth Spirit along with any other characters around to take back control of the board. On the note of challenging, Yelana, Northuldra Leader, is another way to make favorable trades giving any character challenge or two. I think she, along with Genie of the Lamp, are going to be the new staples we need to keep our tempo title. Another package that you see returning is Pull the Lever and Wrong Lever. Again, card draw is at a premium along with removal right now, and these two cards together have never been more powerful in my opinion. We have pumped up our 1-drop count to 16 so we can always have enough low-cost bodies to play with the levers, making sure we can use all of our ink as efficiently as possible.
Hello there everybody, Bannibal here, and I am bringing you a Blue Steel Allies deck. The main goal of this deck is to abuse the 4-drop Shift Jasmine to draw an extra card every turn, doing a sort of poor man's Shift Diablo impression, which is actually quite strong in a metagame like this where draw engines are kind of hard to come by compared to the previous format. So we've got the ability to Shift Jasmine on turn 2, we've got some ramp cards in the form of Tipo and Sail to potentially play Jasmine on turn 3 if the shift plan doesn't quite pan out, and otherwise we're just playing a pretty good mid-range plan, playing as many of the good allies as we possibly can. Cards like Dump Truck, Tipo, and Doc have strong enter play abilities, and then Pleakley and the new super rare 3-drop Lilo do a really good job of allowing you to get value out of those cards once they're in play, where their bodies typically wouldn't have been very useful in the past. And then just a handful of quite strong allies, something like Vincenzo Santorini is a really, really cool card you can play in this format without Sisu and Brawl. A 2/8 quest for 3 body is actually pretty good right now, and obviously the enters playability of removal is very strong in a format that tends to have very little removal. It's an ally. Tinkerbell Giant Theory is an ally you can find. Bagheera, Pluto, 2 bodyguard allies that you can find with Jasmine. Lawrence, obviously all around solid card. And yeah, it's just trying to play a generic mid-range game that can cheese games out with Jasmine. I think that it's got a lot of directions you could take this deck. Obviously also playing Strength of Raging Fire for removal. And I'm curious to see where this deck goes in the future.
Greetings and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. It is me, your boy JDZ, and I'm back at you again with another edition of...
Wait, wrong bald guy. What's up everyone, it's your boy RMB, aka Bald Esquire, back at it again with what I'm calling the Wallet Blurple. I mean, dang, look how many pretty shiny cards we can run in this Blurple list now.
You've made a handsome start. You've invested very wisely, and investing wisely is an art.
26 beautiful little reasons not to give big kids like me adult money. So let's break this deck down into 3 cores. New cards being added from Fabled, core staples to the archetype, and replacements for cards moving to infinity. First, we want to reflect on some of the staples of the deck that are going to be moving to the new infinity format where we can still enjoy them. Madam Mim Fox, Merlin Goat, Friends on the Other Side, and Popsicle. Now with these cards moving from core constructed to infinity, we're also going to be inadvertently losing the ability to get some full usage out of some other staples like Tamatoa Happy as a Clam and Belle Apprentice Inventor. You all will be missed and have been so appreciated, but I need you all to make way. for Dumbo, 9th wonder of the universe. And yes, the name is so fitting because this card is nothing short of a wonder with how much card advantage it can generate. Dumbo has the ability to pay 1 ink and exert himself to draw a card and gain 1 lore. And he gives that same ability to each character you control with Evasive. Now, not only does this make up for the loss of friends on the other side, it's also a built-in protection for cards like Lewis Endearing Alligator, John Silver Alien Pirate, and Rapunzel High Climber, which are all going to be Emerald staples that I believe to be in the Fabled meta. Now, you'll notice the core has not changed at all, with cards like Tipo and Sail on turn 2 into a Genie or Iago on turn 3. We still have our utility of our 5-drop Elsa's Exert and Rush ability, as well as the 8-drop Shift Elsa being reprinted in Fabled. Some of the other incredible reprints in Fabled include Belle Accomplished Mystic and Hades Infernal Schemer for some additional board control tools. And finally, we round out some of the core with the better card draw options we have in Finders Keepers, some combat tricks with Hypnotic Strength, and redundancy and removal with Into the Unknown. Lastly, let's talk about some of the replacements for cards moving to Infinity. Rafiki and Royal Guard are here to stay for a while, as the format has sped up a little and moved to combat-based removal. Either of these 1-drops into a Hypnotic Strength can easily answer opposing exerted daisies and even shifted rhinos. Ana is another combat tool thanks to her support ability and provides additional resource generation if you have an Elsa in play when she quests. Finally, one of the cards I'm most excited to finally get his chance to shine is Baymax Armored Companion. If we are moving into a combat-focused removal meta, Baymax will be the shining knight we always knew we needed, not only allowing us to heal and make value trades, but provide even greater game-ending lore pressure than Merlin Goat himself. Baymax has never really got a chance to shine due to some of the removal tools out of Ruby like Brawl and Medusa, but I suspect that Blurple will likely hold a corner of the triangle meta for the duration of Fabled, and I'm so excited the deck may finally be considered tier 1.
Take a seat, Lumineers, and heed my tale. From the pages of Fabled and the turning of a format, come the harbinger of the dark times. The metagame shall kneel to the wrath of a princess and her menagerie of pets. For she rides into the nightmares of all who oppose her with her menacing duck, trusty dog, and a ferocious hamster. But alas, there is one who stood against her might, and wielded the power of song to send the oppressors deep beneath the sea. I gotta be honest, I'm a simple person. I see board wipe, I play board wipe. My day 1 deck list for post-rotation meta is none other than Amber Emerald songs. Oh, you thought just because 98% of this deck rotated, this deck was going to no longer exist? It didn't rotate. It evolved. A lot of new tools enter the list as a means to facilitate a tried and true combo. First, we have quite a heavy list of singers. Ursula, aka Vanessa, Aurora, Gazelle, and Tiana round out the choir. In some matchups, we aim to play Vanessa on 2 and either Gazelle or Aurora on 3. That way, if all goes well, we can ensure those aggro decks are sleeping with the fishes by turn 4. Tiana, in addition to just being a strong singer, allows us to get a lot more mileage from our songs, helping us push those critical thresholds so we can sweep up everything on the opposing board. Ursula, Deceiver, makes the list in 4 copies as a nod to the current landscape of Ruby, with B-King Undisputed as their primary removal tool, as well as sometimes being able to snipe out a Strength of a Raging Fire, Into the Unknown, and even a Beyond the Horizon. Lewis and John Silver come in as heavy control pieces to deny questing and acting as pseudo-removal options. You see max copies of both Chip and Sudden Chill, as one of our draw engines is Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman. We want to giveth and then taketh away as much as possible, so we can be the only ones to have fun. In addition to all the songs that just make sense, we see our primary draw engine, Ursula's Shell Necklace. If you still have war flashbacks by hearing the term pay 1 to draw, then avert your gaze, because our goal is to say that a lot. I'll be honest, and for those that played this deck pre-rotation, they know, this deck is not easy, nor is it straightforward. But if played optimally, this deck has the gas to control the game until the very last card.
That's it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the deck lists. As the meta progresses, we will be updating these lists in our Discord every week, so check us out over there. Like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.